What's up, y'all? You watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today we're going to talk about the Liver King. You heard of him? Just came across my radar, and it's an interesting person who made me think about what we're going to talk about. Before we get into it, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, drop some comments, share the video. Now, the Liver King is some dude who came to fame on TikTok, and what he promotes is the 9 tenets of, I guess, healthy living. I don't know that much about the dude, but he's famous for eating raw liver and raw testicles and claiming that he's this big guy. He's like muscular and whatnot. And he claims that he's this big dude just from eating this type of healthy diet which is mostly meats, and exercising and living these tenets. Comes out, it's discovered that he isn't that jacked just from the eating. He's on steroids and hormones and all this other stuff, and that's really not the point of what this video is. But turns out he was lying. He was a fraud. He wasn't jacked from that. He was just selling that stuff to young people. So then he's discovered, his spot is blown up, and he makes an apology video. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. He admits it all, right? Yeah, I do steroids. I'm on a regimen. It's, I got a doctor monitoring me and everything else. But in his apology, he says something. He's like, I did it because we're losing 4,000 people a day. People are killing themselves from low libido, being weak and frail. And then he said something about young men. And he's like, young men are lost. They're submissive. And I couldn't help but think, older guys, like guys in my age group, they're having a hard time with how society is changing. And it's more than just like the boomer generation. There's guys in my age group, Generation X, that are just oblivious to our own upbringing and our own way that styles changed and how we were ridiculed and how we were deridden. Our hip hop, when Tupac was everything, our hip hop was regarded as trash by the older generation. All you guys do is cuss. All you do is talk about drugs and it's trash. Couldn't stand our stuff. And then you get a generational shift and things are changing today. And it's embarrassing that my generation now is going, oh, everybody's soft and this is the pussification of the youth and this and that. Bro, times are just changing. Society is evolving. I'm glad that there's less a need to pick on everybody. That's a good thing. I'm glad that we're welcoming in different communities that were in our generation were ostracized and ridiculed, and I'm glad we're bringing everybody into the fold. So really, I want to speak to people above their 40s like me. Fear not the changes of society. Adapt. You don't have to be so rigid. Do you know why palm trees don't snap in a hurricane? It's because they're flexible. And the most mighty of trees folds in a hurricane. Not a palm tree. Flexibility. You gotta be flexible, man. You gotta adapt with the changing times. And those are the best types of leaders, the ones that can adapt, evolve. This is more than just this particular topic. Across the board, you have to be able to evolve. I talk about our labor movement. We have folks in positions where they're able to make decisions, and they need to evolve with the changing times. It's a different dynamic from when you were young. It's a different dynamic from when you were a pup. There's more energy. There's more calamity. There's more inequality. It requires a different response. It requires a more robust response. So to folks of my generation, let's try to adapt and evolve with the changing times, because there's nothing to fear, man. These young folks are inspirational. New ideas, fascinating. It's the young folks that give me hope, because it's the old folks that dropped the ball and ruined this place, like ruined the earth, and allowed society to go batshit crazy with inequality. It's their fault that we're in the struggles that we're in. Let's embrace those of our peers of the younger generation. So they got the right ideas. We should do more listening. Anywho, that's my thoughts for now. Y'all remember, the fight's not left and right, it's up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one teach one, get out there and reach one. And remember, there could be no union without you and I front and center.